So once you get to this this B minor chord, it goes back to playing kind of melody lines, but it plays them in intervals, so not in single lines. So these are two sevens, right? A minor seven and a major seven. First one has an E on top and an F sharp on the third string. And again, technique-wise, I think the best way to play this, if you want to use a pick, the best way to play this is to pick the lower note and to play the upper note with a finger. So I usually use the ring finger, but I've seen some people also use the middle finger. And the advantage with this technique is that you can keep your pick ready for action if you want to play lines afterwards. And you don't get this, if you would pick, you could pick kind of both notes, but then you would have to silent the second string, and you would always get this this attack noise in between the two notes. So Pete definitely uses this technique with the pick and the finger, and most people use this nowadays. I mean, if you listen to people like Gilad Exelman or mainly Gilad, but all guitar players kind of use this technique nowadays. So it's worth kind of getting into, I think, this hybrid of finger and pick. So we had this first interval, E and F sharp, and now we go to a C sharp and a D, and it repeats this one twice. And by the way, if you think about the notes here, this is all diatonic stuff, right? Because we're now in a B minor chord and we're going to A major. So we're in A major scale. We have 3 sharps now. We kind of moved, the song kind of modulated half a step down. So this is just diatonic stuff. Now he plays in F, kind of to lead us to the F, to the E7, to the E7 that's gonna take us to A. So this F is obviously not diatonic, you can hear that as well. There's a lot of tension here, and it's been resolved now to this F sus chord, or E sus chord. What am I talking about? So it's an E sus, or you can also think about it as a B minor 7 with an E in the bass. It doesn't stick around, it doesn't stay on that chord a lot of time. He moves on to this chord, which is also a very common chord for Pete. He plays this for 5 quite a lot. This is a very interesting chord. Kind of, it reminds me always of a diminished chord in the way it sounds, but of course it has one wrong note. So a diminished chord would have this note, but we have this. But this chord has this major 7 instead of major 6. So in terms of notes, we're talking about F, D flat, A flat, and the D. And of course, this is hard to think about it harmonically. Maybe I should be saying maybe E sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and the D, just to be maybe more correct in A major. But you can think about it both ways, I guess. But basically what we have is a triad, a D flat triad, or a C sharp triad, with the flat 9 in the bass. But of course the function of the chord at the end of the day is an E7, right? So you have to think about it with an E in the bass, kind of. And if you think about it as an E chord, essentially, then you get all these cool tensions, right? You have the flat 9, you have the 13, and then you have the 3rd and the 7. So the basic tritone of the 7 chord with the 13 and the flat 9 together. So anyway, this is the chord he uses. I think he brings out the bass as well. Yeah, definitely. So he plays the chord and then he plays the bass afterwards. So you basically have this really complex sound coming out here, and then he resolves it to A major with this beautiful lick. So this is also a very common bebop theme, kind of, when we have a 5 going to 1, we often play the third. I'm talking about the third of the 1 now. So the C sharp, the C natural is kind of this, bringing out this augmented sound, and then resolving it to the 9. So this is obviously with the chords. This is obviously a sound that is very familiar, and Pete uses this here. But he kind of puts a little twist on it. Obviously, he uses the major 7 there as well. So in terms of notes, we have a C sharp, a C natural, G sharp, the major 7, now a B, so the 9th, and then back to the major 7. And this is really where we landed on the A major. And now another one of these beautiful arpeggios from the fifth, starting with the low E string. We have an A down here, G sharp, we skip a string. This is what I was talking about, not raking, because sometimes you have to skip a string. Anyway, we have this G sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp, and a G sharp. So we just arpeggio the A chord. And now if you remember the chords of the song, we have to get to an F sharp minor. And in order to get to that F sharp minor, he uses the same chord, the same 5 chord I was talking about before. This beautiful chord. He uses this one to get to the F sharp minor. So again, in terms of notes, we have a D, B flat, F, and a B natural. So again, a triad, a major triad, with the flat 9 in the bass. But of course, it's not a B flat chord. It's a C sharp kind of C sharp chord. Yeah, C sharp 7. But it resolves beautifully to this F sharp minor. And this F sharp minor is just your common F sharp minor. So we have the C sharp, E, C sharp, A, E, and then F sharp. So maybe, just take a look at the way it resolves, because that kind of explains why it sounds that great. Because again, it's this kind of, it's just a gravitation matter. Because we have this major triad with the flat 9 in the bass, of course, and then this major triad just goes half a step down, and of course the bass changes. So it's a bit primitive, maybe. I think Pete was talking about this in the workshop as well. Sometimes a primitive solution works as well. So it's just a half step up, going down half a step to kind of resolve to this minor 7 chord. And now he plays this lick on the F sharp minor. Stopping here because this is the next chord, so I'll go through that in a sec. But let's just look at it. In this lick, the notes are A, C sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and the C sharp. But of course, the C sharp is played as a chord, and this is something he does actually in all the choruses he plays. He puts this chord in there. And it makes the same kind of sense that I was talking about before, but it's definitely not in a usual part of the song. So you wouldn't hear many people play that chord there. I'm sure Horace Silver doesn't play it there. But the sense of this chord, we were in F sharp minor, right? And we said the bass goes down, right? So we have an F sharp and then an F sharp on E. So the bass goes a whole step down. And what Pete does, and of course the bass goes a half step down because we want to get to this E flat minor that's coming up. And what Pete does, he says, I'm not only going to take the bass a whole step down, I'm going to take the whole chord a whole step down. So this is basically an E minor 7 chord with the 6 on top, of course, because this is the melody kind of meant to play, right? This is a part of this lick. But instead of harmonizing it as an F sharp minor, which is kind of would be the traditional way of doing it, Pete uses this E minor sounding chord. Again, it's perfect fourths. We've been using this chord the whole time now, right? It's the same chord we were using up here, down here. We've been using it the whole time, but this time it has a slightly different purpose. It's a C sharp up here, a C sharp, G, D, A, and an E. So it's basically an E minor 7 with the 11 and the 6 as well, the 13, depends which way you look at it. And now we basically resolve, which is, I know it's a funny way to go to E flat major, to E flat minor, going to the 11, kind of resolving to the 11 of the chord. But it sounds brilliant if you take the lick that Pete was playing under consideration. So let's just do it again together. All right, so we got to this A flat, right? This the 11 of the E flat minor chord, and now another arpeggio. Again. So in terms of notes, we start with an E flat, then we have an A natural, a D flat, F, G flat, A flat, A natural, and a B natural. So it's kind of like an altered sound, right? Using the flat 9, if you think about it as an A flat 7, or if you're still thinking about it as an E flat, you can think about it as the flat 5, kind of a half diminished chord. And now these notes are a part of like an A flat altered sound. So we have the natural 13, right? We're using the F here, not the E like most altered scales would do. But then we have the flat 9, of course, and the sharp 9. So it's basically using all these altered sounds. Now this is a bit complicated. I mean, there's a lot of ways to think about it, but I just think about it as a D7. So it's a sub 5 sound kind of. So we had this E flat, maybe E flat half diminished sound because he was playing the A natural there. And then just playing a D7. So once we get up here to the B, he kind of uses this B as the 13 of a D7 chord, right? D7, the sub 5 of A flat 7. And now I'm just playing kind of this, it's like this cliche, right? That we all heard a million times. But this is used a bit differently, right? Because we have a D7 as a sub 5, and we have to kind of imagine maybe an A minor up there as a 2 of the sub 5. So basically we have the B up there, and now we have a G sharp and a C, and the G sharp goes down to a G natural, right? So it's part of this cliche, starting of course with the second note. Now we go one farther, so now we really hit the D7 territory because we have the F sharp now. And now we have arpeggios also a D7 chord, so we just have a F sharp, C, and then A. And now we finally solve this to the D flat major. We have an A flat up there, and then he plays this little chord down here. So we have an A flat, and afterwards he plays this little chord, E flat, B flat, and F. So again, perfect fourths all the way. Now, once he reaches this D flat, he plays this really interesting sequence of chords that is maybe the nicest part of this chorus. And it goes like this. I'll play it once and then maybe I'll try and explain some of it. So basically what we got here is just perfect false chords, right? This chord that we were using the whole time. But we have an additional note up there. So this is the first chord. And again, I think about this usually as an E flat minor chord. So think about it like we have a whole bar of D flat, and we don't want to wait for 4 beats on one chord like that, right? Because it's a ballad. We have so much time. We have so much space to fill up. So I just think about it as a decoration. Instead of playing the D flat for 4 beats, Pete is kind of playing D flat, E flat, F minor, E flat. Just going up the scale and then back down, right? This is this kind of vamp that people use all the time, right? In like many songs. So that's the way I think about his chord choice here, right? But you can also just say, well, it sounds good and why not do it, right? But I mean, if you think about the reasoning why it sounds good, maybe it's like this kind of sound that we've all heard before. And then of course it goes one step farther, but I'll show you this in a sec. So the first chord has a C on top and then just perfect fourths from G flat. So we have a C, G flat, D flat, A flat, E flat. The next chord keeps the C on top, but now the perfect fourths are all one step up. So we have a C on top, we kept that one. Now we have an A flat, E flat, B flat, and then F. Now the next chord takes those perfect fourths and plays them a half step up. So if we were in F minor, which is the third degree of D flat, now we're going to a bit of foreign territory. This is like a 4 minor chord kind of. It's also just the F minor, F a step up. And now on top we play, instead of the C, we don't want to play the C anymore, we play an E flat up there. So melodically kind of what we were doing is, but of course the chords were changing. So let me just walk you through this chord once. We have an E flat, A, D, E natural, B natural, and an F sharp. Of course, this is an F sharp minor, right? If you think about it as a G flat minor, you'd have to think of different notes. But maybe this is a bit easier to understand. So we had that chord, and now we just go back to the last chord we played. So we kind of walked up, and now we're walking back down. So we got here, now we're walking back down. So we have a C, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. We keep on going down. Again, we keep the C up here. This is the first chord we started with. We have a C, E flat, D flat, A flat, F. And now we kind of keep going down melodically, but of course the chord is going up. So we're just playing the second chord again, but this time we're not playing the C on top. So of course the melody is going down, but the rest of the voices are going up. So we're playing again this perfect fourth chord from A flat, so A flat, E flat, B flat, and F. Now of course this is the target chord right now. It's kind of like an F sharp 7 sharp 11. Sorry, yeah, exactly. F sharp 7 sharp 11, or a C sharp, C7 sharp 11. It's the sub 5. So this chord can pass as both. I mean, the song, of course, originally features a C minor 7 flat 5 chord, but of course that could be changed into a C7 sharp 11 because they both have the F sharp on top, which is really what the point is. So whether or not we have an E flat or an E natural, that doesn't make that much difference. I mean, it does of course make a difference, but it it serves the same purpose as long as we have the F sharp on top. So of course, Pete plays this F sharp. That's like a sub 5 for the C sharp. So there you go. So before I show you this chord, of course, we start half a step up, going down again to this F sharp chord. So we start on the third fret with a barré. So we have G up here, then we have an E, B, F, C sharp, and a G. So a six notes chord. Now we go a half step down, so all the fingers stay the same. The notes are gonna be F sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E, C, and then F sharp. Now he plays the melody. This is the melody of this song. Right, just an F sharp, G sharp, back to F sharp, and then going down to F. But of course, Pete has to put some of himself into this. So he plays this B flat down here before he goes to the F. So we have an F sharp, a G sharp, B flat, F sharp, and now back to the F. Of course, I'm saying F sharp and G sharp, but of course maybe it's better to think about it as a G flat and an A flat. I mean, you can think about it both ways. Maybe a G flat and a G sharp, right? Then you'd have flat 9 and sharp 9. But anyway, those are the notes. But now that we got to the F, we're still not home. The F is still kind of a C minor 7 for Pete now. So C minor 7 with 11. F, E flat, B flat, C. And now the bottom two notes go half a step down to create this B 7 sharp 11. So we have an F, E flat, A, and a B. A natural, B natural, of course. And then the final chord before we resolve this is kind of this F augmented sounding chord. So we have an E flat in the bottom, an A, D flat, and an F. Notice that in all those chords we keep the F on top, right? Because that's kind of what the melody does. The melody just repeats F till we get to the B flat. So we had that chord, that F augmented kind of chord, with E flat in the bass, of course. And now we finally reach the B flat, kind of reach the end of the chorus. So the B flat, he plays another perfect fourth chord. We have an F, C, G, and a D over here. So I think that's it for today. I think this was a really long video, so I might divide the next chorus into 2 videos actually. But do feel free to comment or ask any questions if you didn't understand anything, and I hope the PDF will come up soon. And of course, another shout out to the Facebook group. Facebook group is being run by Richard Luther from Austin, Texas, and it's an amazing group. There's transcriptions, there's discussions of Pete's music, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't yet. So it's called Peter Bernstein Study Group. So thanks so much for watching. Subscriptions and likes are always appreciated, and I'll see you next time.